Hello there, welcome to TCFC. My name is Tom, and today I'm going to be reviewing today's match against Coventry City. Birmingham City drew 1-1 at home. So today what I'd like to do is go over all the players and give them a rating out of 10. And we're going to do it on what I call the Lee Novak scale. So it'll be on, 10 Lee Novaks is a good score, 0 Lee Novak is a bad score. Just before I get started, just a reminder, if you like my videos, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel TCFC, and share it with your pals on Instagram and whatever, Facebook, I don't really know how they work. Anyway, let's get to the ratings. So Etheridge, I am going to give him 7 Lee Novaks out of 10. Reason why? He couldn't really do anything about Coventry's goal, and he made some sharp saves during the game. Nothing too tricky, but there was a free kick that was, quite challenging, and I think he dealt with it rather well. So 7 for him. Next up is Maxime Collan, and I'm going to give him 6 Lee Novaks out of 10. He started pretty brightly. He linked up nicely with Sanchez, and there were some glimmers in the second half when he looked all right. But he had a very quiet game for the most part against, I've got to say, a pretty poor opposition. I would have hoped he might have been able to get down the right a little bit more, but no major problems with his game. Just that he wasn't very showy. So he gets a 6. Okay, on to Harley Dean. I'm going to give Harley a 6 as well. 6 Lee Novaks. Reason being, he had a tough game. He's probably the only defender we have who seemed to be busy during the game. And his opposite number was very physical. They had quite a lot of duels. I'd say it's about 50-50 who won those duels. No real complaints, apart from maybe that he was a little bit asleep for their goal. However, I don't think anyone was really expecting the error that led to it to actually happen. So, I'm not too annoyed at him for that. But he should be playing to the whistle. But yeah, not too many complaints. The defence overall didn't really have that much to do. I'd say due to the quality of the opposition. So yeah, 6 out of 10, not bad, not great. Next up is San Jose. Now he did okay. I'm going to give him a very generous 7. Reason being, I don't think he did anything particularly wrong in defence, and there were a couple of times when he kind of burst out of the defence and did some, didn't lose the ball immediately, which is a pretty huge rarity among Blues players. So yeah, well done San Jose. You get yourself a 7. 7 Lee Novaks, well done. Okay, next up it's Pedersen. I'm going to give him a solid 6 Lee Novaks. I didn't really notice him do very much during the game, which is a bit of a relief, as in recent games, he's been giving away penalties and stuff like that. So, although he didn't offer what he often does going forward, I was quite happy for him to have a quiet game. So yeah, solid 6 Lee Novaks. Up next in midfield, oh dear, Adam Clayton, absolutely terrible game. I'm sorry Adam, but I do not like giving low ratings, but I'm going to have to give you 4 Lee Novaks. The reason why is on the ball in the first half, didn't really, every time he had it, he seemed to lose it, give it to the other team. He's obviously a player not playing with confidence. I'd love it if he could get some confidence. I think sometimes when players are lacking in confidence, they come across as lazy. I don't think he's lazy. I don't think any of them are lazy. But it's just not happening for him. And unfortunately, due to complacency, I have to say, it looked like complacency. Their goal, he basically, the ball looked like it might go out, and he was looking to shield it out. But it didn't go out, and their player just nicked off him, played it in, easy goal. Very, very poor play from him, and he was taken off at half time. He'd been, as I say, been very poor. So I'd say give him a generous 4 Lee Novaks. Moving on to his midfield partner, who was Sunic. Yeah, so Ivan Sunic, I'm going to give him a 6. So I think Sunic is an interesting character. And I'd be interested to see how we did without him in the team. So he runs around a lot, which is good. We love that at Blues. He gets really stuck in. He wins headers. He makes tackles, which is a good thing. But creatively, he offers very, very little. I think it would be nice if we had someone who could, pass a little bit better in the midfield. I'm not saying we should drop him because he pretty much starts every game. As I say, it's extremely rare. But yeah, it didn't really offer anything creatively. So I'm gonna give him a 6. Nothing wrong with his game, but nothing spectacular as well. So yeah, 6 Lee Novaks for Sunic. Okay, so Next up was John Terrell, had a poor game. A little bit like Adam Clayton, but without the mistake for the goal. Terrell, there was one moment when he linked up quite nicely with Sanchez and Collan, in the first half. But, overall, he pretty much lost the dust ball every time he got it. Didn't look very comfortable on the ball and doesn't look very confident. I'd love to see the John Terrell from his previous spell at Blues, which is actually quite a long time ago now. But yeah, not his best game. 5 Lee Novaks out of 10. Moving on to someone who actually played well. How refreshing. And that's Ivan Sanchez. 100% man of the match. He won the penalty for the goal. And he, 3 or 4 times, maybe more than that, he managed to break away from his man and go on a run. He was the only player who really offered much convincing running from the starters anyway. And yeah, I was very happy with his performance. He deserved his goal, and I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Not just for that, because he really worked hard today, and he was very tired when he was taken off, although I don't think he should have been taken off. Up next, Jeremy Beyer. Now, I'm going to give him probably a bit of a harsh 6. The reason is he worked hard. He's got some, he had some decent moments, but he didn't really contribute anything apart from, Start again. Beyer, I'm going to give him a 6. He did score the penalty, and it was a good penalty. So fair play to him for that. Creatively, I think he was a little bit lacking today. And nothing he tried really came off. He put some good balls in the box, but no one was there. So his contributions didn't really amount to too much. One thing I would say is I just think he belongs on the right. I know Sanchez is a right player as well, but I'd love to see maybe them switch around at some point, because Beyer on the right, that's where he belongs. I don't think he's that comfortable on the left. To be honest, when I watch him, he doesn't look like a happy player to me. I'm not going to fault his effort, but I think he's a man who wants out of the club. I just sense it in his body language. Especially, I thought his performance against Man City, he looked like he's trying to put himself in the shop window, I thought. But yeah, he still worked hard. No issues, but just a solid 6 for Jeremy. Up front, Scott Hogan. A bit harsh probably, but I'm going to give him a 5. Didn't really do very much. I feel so bad for him and Hogan. I hope the new strikers that have come in might have a bit of better luck, but they're so starved of quality service. I don't think either of them are particularly natural. As a one man up front. So yeah, he didn't have much opportunity, but the small bit of opportunity he didn't really do much with. But yeah, not faulting the work rate, but I'm going to give him a 5. Sorry about that. Okay, so on to the subs. The subs actually did quite well, I would say. Some of them, anyway. So, first sub, Mark Roberts came on for Clayton at half-time. Roberts did absolutely fine. No issues with his game at all. As I say, the defence wasn't particularly tested by Coventry. But the fact that we wanted to bring on a third centre-back and have 5 at the back is, baffles me. At home in a game, you should really be looking to win. So, yeah, no issues with you, Mark, but I just don't really see why you're on the pitch, to be honest. Next up was the other substitution, very positive one, which was Gardner for John Terrell. Terrell had been poor, as previously mentioned, but Gardner offered an absolute breath of fresh air. I really like Gary Gardner. I think he's an incredibly positive player. I'd actually like to see him start more. He's very experienced. He's a very competent footballer. You don't see him giving away the ball all the time. Which is very rare for an entire team. They absolutely love giving the ball away pretty much every single opportunity they get. So yeah, and the other thing that he did, just the only other person who did this was Sanchez. He runs, he gets the ball and he can take it further up the pitch. And that's really what we're missing a lot of the time, is that our forward players, they're not really getting distributed the ball from the midfielders. So I was happy to see him on the pitch. He ran forward, he did quite well. Not enough to create any real chances or anything, but he linked up with Sanchez nicely at one point, and I was overall impressed. As I say, I'd like to see him on the pitch a bit more. Next sub, it was Lico, who came on for. Let me have a look at my notes. Lico came on for Sanchez. Right, yeah, so first of all, I don't know why the hell he was taking off Sanchez. Okay, he was tired, but, he's our only real attacking threat. The only one capable of creating chances, which Lico, unfortunately, for all his energy, his final product at the moment is just so bad. So, yeah, he did his usual, came on, run about loads, looked somewhat dangerous on the ball, but, gave the ball to the team, as he basically always does. So I'm going to give him a 5 for that. Next up, it's our debutant, Raheem Harper. He did okay. Didn't have much time to impress, really. I I think that, you know, he could be useful for us. There are things I liked about him. He had a lot of energy. There was one point when he created a half chance later on in the game. It wasn't much, but he scrapped in around their box and managed to get the ball. So for me, that's a big positive because, you know, our players don't really create chances. So if we're going to have someone who can actually do that, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. 6 for him. Didn't really have much time to impress, so that's all he's going to get. Finally, the Duke, Lukas Jukovic. You know, I'm going to give him a 6 as well. The chance that was created by Harper fell to him. It was only really a half chance, but he got a bit of a shot off. As I say, would have been nice if we could have hit the target, but it was blocked. Didn't have much opportunity, but the fact that he was getting in there and scrapping to get the ball into the net was a positive sign. So well done, Nuke. Solid performance. 6 Lee Novaks. Well done. Ready. Cool. So let's just talk about the game itself briefly. We started well, and this is, you know, as usual, an absolute recurring theme. We started well. We got our goal. We were actually looking pretty comfortable. I thought at that point, Colin, Bayer, Sanchez, they were linking up nicely. And Tarali even had a brief period. So I thought, you know, this is good. 1-0 up. Happy days. And then, of course, what happens? They scored a ridiculous goal. We've already spoken about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. You know, a mistake from us caused a goal. And then, you know, the game just died, as per usual. I was happy to see Karanka take positive action by taking off the 2 players who weren't playing well in Tabral and Clayton. But to bring on Mark Roberts and to play 5 at the back at home, it just shows absolutely no ambition. I really want to see a bit more positivity from Karanka. A point against Coventry. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's really good enough for us, and we're getting dragged further and further towards the relegation battle. So if I was to give this match a rating out of 10 as well as the players, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10 because, as I already mentioned, Coventry were rubbish. They're absolutely rubbish. They were worse than us, and that is saying something. The fact that we couldn't manage to turn these guys over is a bit worrying. But I guess we didn't lose, so that's good. Not much else to say, really. But I was very bored in the second half. I almost fell asleep. So if my ratings are inaccurate, it's probably because I was finding it so hard to pay attention. But you know, if you were able to enjoy that game, well done. Overall, yeah, that's it. Nothing else to say. Didn't play particularly well, but I've seen us play worse. End of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe the vid. I should be having a really cool video coming up soon, hopefully tomorrow, maybe the next day, which is going to be the Cult Hero 1-11. I think it's going to be really good. You're going to love it. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Keep it on to the end of the road. Bye.